Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be doing an update to my top 10 ongoing manhwa right now. So this, as of April 23rd, are the 10 manhwa I cannot live without that I'm checking week to week. There's a bunch of other amazing ones that are out there, but these are the ones that have me most hyped right now for their current arcs, so stay tuned. Starting off at number 10 is Magic Emperor. Magic Emperor just came out of a arc that I was very so about, but I have to say things that have started off in this new arc are about to pop off in a really different kind of way, with Zoe Fan maybe getting a new role, these new powerful deities that are coming into play, and I think we're going to be elevating into a new level very soon, where I don't know how relevant the Luo clan is going to be going forward. That being said, Zoe Fan remains cold as hell. He's built an empire of strength around him, and now the Emperor wants a piece of it, so I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes, as well as what kind of stories we're going to be telling in this world going forward. That being said, I do still find last arc was extremely weak, and that's why Magic Emperor only makes it to number 10 on this list. At number 9 is a new one for this list, actually, is The Player That Can't Level Up. I kind of dropped off of The Player That Can't Level Up a while back, and I got back into it thanks to someone from the community who was like, you need to check back in with this manhwa. And they were absolutely right. I think it is killing it right now with a great story, some good powers, an interesting power system with the swords and the egos. I really do enjoy that kind of dynamic, and I wish it had a bit of a better art style, even though I know a lot of people enjoy it for what it is in the art style that it already has. But I do think it has better rivalries, better character interactions than a lot of other series of the similar type of I'm not strong enough, so I have to do this other thing to get stronger kind of dynamic. That being said, if you aren't already reading The Player That Can't Level Up, it's definitely worth your time. It's a great manhwa. At number 8 is Heavenly Inquisition Sword. This one is not a really old series, but I'm so excited every time a new chapter comes out because of our OP protagonist that is also just a weak character emotionally, as he's so obsessed with this group that he's with, he can't dare leave it to do anything for himself, and because of that he's making some decisions right now that I'm a little iffy on. However, I'm super excited to see where it's going to go. It's not a complicated story by any means. We're not writing Shakespeare here, but OP protagonist ends up with a basically weak band of thieves and bandits and ends up in these different circumstances helping them to rise up within this bandit world. And it's kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. The art style is pretty darn good, though I will say there's some off-model stuff that I don't find that great. But overall, the coloring, the art style is good, the action's on point, and it's a fun series. I'm cheating here, but tied at number 8 is The Beginning After the End, because I have to say, I got back into it recently. I still have a lot of problems with the art style of The Beginning After the End. I know, I might not be in a very popular position on this one, but I do think the story deserves better. But I can't deny that the war arc is raging on and is bringing some amazing moments and some even more hype ones to come. So that being said, The Beginning After the End deserves to be at this number 8 spot. I don't think it deserved to be somewhere else. I kind of struggled with it, but you should definitely be reading it if you're not already. At number 7 is Nano Machine, and I honestly thought Nano Machine might drop out of my top 10 after the end of the last arc, where our main protagonist finally kind of reached his objective and took the leadership of the clan. I didn't really see where we were going to be going with this, and I was really not excited for what was happening. That being said, they kind of pivoted and made things really interesting fairly quickly, and new chances for our protagonist to just show how badass he is, and I am so hyped for next chapter. If you're reading this, if you're watching this week that I'm releasing it, there's a new chapter coming out that's going to be probably him putting the beat down on some really strong people after he's acquired a new level of strength, and I can't deny that I'm kind of hyped to see it happen. The art remains phenomenal. We finally have that little romance going on between him and the female protagonist, even though, I'll be honest, I don't particularly care for it. I find these romances in these action manhwas are often a little paper thin and lack some depth of interaction, and this one's not that different. There's more reason for them to kind of enjoy each other's company. However, there's no real courting period or things like that. It's just more of an obsession kind of relationship. That being said, Nanomachine remains fantastic. At number 6 is Mercenary Enrollment. My God, I would not have been able to tell you a few years ago that Mercenary Enrollment would remain in my top 10 so long after I started it. Like, the concept was pretty paper thin, to be honest with you, and it kept having these, like, I'm gonna go save my sister, I'm gonna go save my friend, I'm gonna go save my other friend, and rinse and repeat. And somehow this series keeps me engaged with a protagonist that shows a little bit of humanity, that they peel the onion away just a little bit. Last chapter they showed him without his shirt on, and I believe for the first time from the back at least, and they show how battered and pained and cut and scarred he is. And it was great. It did great visual storytelling for his sister that saw this and was kind of traumatized by what she saw. And it kind of hit me like, oh, we haven't seen that. And that's just good storytelling. They're really building this character and truly showing that he's found a place where he belongs. And somehow every week I'm still as engaged as ever to watch Mercenary Enrollment and see what new beatdown he's going to be giving. And though I will say he doesn't struggle very much, I'm not that excited about the arc we're in, about the people that are chasing after him right now, even though technically they're the big bad, well, one of the big bads of the story. We'll see. Still, nonetheless, a great ride all the way. If you made it this far in the video, guys, take a chance to like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And at number 5 is Venom Dragon. Venom Dragon went from being a series that dropped out of my top 10, was a painful series to read sometimes, got a little boring, got a little just sad to watch, and then it became something exciting. The art has always been phenomenal, but now the protagonist is filled with hope as well as a desire for revenge. He's more tactical, strategic. He's just playing at a much higher level, and his I'll do it no matter what attitude is something that I really enjoy watching. I think he's a strong protagonist. I think he's getting a little bit deeper than he was originally. He's still a pretty simple character nonetheless, but I just find that the action has gotten way more exciting now that he's using poisons in more creative ways while also having developed a new power, which means it's not just him setting a trap to poison. There's more going on there, and that's really cool to watch. At number 4 is Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Okay, so Omniscient has been my number 2 for the longest time, and it's dropped to number 4, not because it's not good, but honestly, I just haven't been excited about it lately. The whole arc of the miniaturization of the pygmies just wasn't interesting to me. It's relevant, it's necessary for the story, it's good world building, the character interactions are solid, everything is still consistently good, but for some reason this part of the story just wasn't as engaging or as interesting to me, and it kind of gave me a little bit of a meh kind of period. That being said, it remains a manhwa that I know will go down as one of my favorite of all time. Definitely an S-tier manhwa from storytelling, art style, action. It's got everything going on. Dialogue, world building. It's a beast of a manhwa and will definitely be one of the greatest of all time for sure. If you disagree, please leave a comment down below by all means. But nonetheless, right now it has me a little bit less excited, so it is what it is. At number 3 is Ella Seed. Holy crap, Ella Seed. We're about to jump into our protagonist going into harm's way once again. He's shown... God, so we had a slowdown that happened not that long ago where the story kind of slowed down to a crawl after a big arc finished. And I was like, oh, damn it, I hope we don't go back to like... And there was a little like 3 or 4 chapter period where we had these... Oh, it's about the friendship and making sure our friendship group can stay together because this female character has to go be with her clan. And I was just like, oh, I don't care about this right now. Give me fight. Give me amazing moment with protagonist. But this is what the series is about. It's okay. It's part of what the joy of the series is. But it just, I was like, I don't want to go back to this. And there's this great moment with his mother getting kidnapped. And he just goes buck wild, and it's phenomenal. Like, you just, there's no more hesitation on our protagonist's part. Ju is just wrecking face, and people are like, what is the skill level? Now he's training with like the head of, well, he's trained with her before, but the head of the clan, the head of the alliance, sorry. And she's like super strong, but she has to like go hardcore to fight against him and can't go easy on him to fight. And now he's going into harm's way, and I'm hyped for the stuff that's going to be happening there, because outright he's been told that he's not going to be able to get the support from his powerful cat friends, as you guys know. That being said, Ella Seed is one, if you have not read it and you've been holding back on it because those first chapters are slow as hell, and though that's the friendship building is a little annoying. I get it. I 100% get it. But it is worth your time to read through it. Some of the best action, amazing art a little bit later on, but you do need to get through that slog of those first few chapters. At number 2 is Great Mage returns after 4,000 years. Why is this one so high? Well, like I've said before on a previous version of this list, we're nearing the end game, guys, and our protagonist has reached peak, like, he's OP now. He's extremely strong, and now he's going to be able to fight against Lord, but he does need to do a little bit of stuff before. That being said, I'm not crazy about like this, oh, well, let's go on this little quest because we're going to have to get to the underworld, and they're doing a little bit of a roundabout way leading to the final fight. It's fine, it's cool. There are a whole lot of characters in this underworld that we haven't really had that much interaction with, so I'm hoping for some cool fights and some cool visuals going there. But we know that Lord's probably going to get some crazy power-up, and then it's going to be a really tough fight to the end. My big question for you, for Great Mage Returns, do you think Lucas survives this series? I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm just like, I don't see how our protagonist survives. Not because the enemy's too strong, but because there's nothing in the present for him. He lived 4,000 years ago. The girl he cares about is still around technically, but I don't think she's going to survive either. And I see him kind of dying as the legend that mankind believed in, which I think would be a pretty cool ending. But that being said, I kind of see it coming, so I hope I'm wrong and it's something completely different. How do you think Great Mage Returns is going to end? I'm curious. Last but not least is Legend of the Northern Blade. Though I haven't been as hyped about the most recent chapters of Legend of Northern Blade, which is insane to say, because they've been a hype as hell, but that hiatus kind of like brought down my excitement a little bit. But we are building to some crazy stuff with the Northern Sect taking like the lead now as a powerful force in itself, taking down some of the Silent Knight, and now acting as kind of a foil to the Central Heavenly Alliance. Central Alliance, anyway. It's going to be interesting to see where they go specifically with the fighting, because obviously there's a 3-way fight, but technically everyone's also kind of working for one dude at the same time that set everything in place before. So I'm kind of hoping it doesn't just turn into an everyone against our protagonist kind of situation. I like this 3-way dynamic, and it's going to create some chaos in the coming chapters, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Guys, I'm curious, what do you think? What are your favorite 3 manhwa right now that you're following that you think everyone should be keeping up with? Obviously, I'm not just keeping up with these 11, technically. I'm keeping up with many, many more, but these are the ones I'm most excited for at this time. And if you want to know anything more about manhwa, stay tuned, because I have a bunch of other videos for this type of content.